Hey, everybody, it's the old guy from the TGOG podcast. And today I'm here with Ames, and Ames is joining us from England. And we're going to take a little bit of a different approach today. Today, we want to focus about Ukraine. I have a personal passion for supporting Ukraine since 2022 and the invasion. Been active in NAFO and crossed paths with Ames and been supporting her and as much as I can in her fundraising. I thought, well, particularly as America has checked out, the government has at least, in supporting Ukraine, and Ukraine falls from the news because what's going on in Lebanon and Israel and Iran. We got to keep Ukraine on top of mind. And so we're going to spend some time talking to Ames. So, Ames, welcome. We're glad you could join us.
Thanks.
All
Glad to
right.
be here. Don't mind me. I'm actually sweating my ass off.
Well, you guys are having a heat wave, aren't you?
Yes, I can definitely feel it. My curtains are drawn, trying to stop the heat. What's going on with my things?
Well, as long as it's not the interview that's making you sweat, we're okay. This is going to be good. So, tell us a little bit. Why did you get involved in Ukraine? I mean, is this a personal feeling for you?
I actually can remember because I was at college at the time when 2014 kicked off, and I was watching all the footage. Now there was stuff on YouTube that shouldn't have been on YouTube, and it was all in letters and numbers, and I was watching it, and I got to see some really disgusting things what the Russians were doing.
Yes.
So I guess you could say since 2014, I was carefully observing it, and then it basically became the forgotten war.
Yes. And that's where we're at now. It's getting more forgotten.
Which is why I actually do protest more outside of the Russian embassy. Because I noticed that people say it doesn't make a difference. But I noticed when I was standing there, people actually stopped as they were going past me. They actually stopped even talking. And then they started talking about Ukraine. That's what I find kind of funny, right? It's like they just need a little reminder.
Well, and that's what intrigues me about you is you're doing the, I don't want to say typical, but a lot of what NAFO does. You're raising funds, you're supporting purchasing drones, but you do, my phrase, more direct action. You're out there protesting at the Russian embassy in London.
Yep.
Are you one of, how big is this group? Is it you? Is it normally a big
just
group?
Me on my own,
Really?
And I mainly do it on my own because it's personal to me. And the other reason is because of where I stand. The police only allow one person. I stand right next to their side door that is closest to the traffic lights. So when they lock up, they have to see me. And because I am such I don't know what I should call this. But when they go into their side, right, and they lock their inside, right, I go and stand in front of their door. So they have to actually look at me still.
Now, how often do you protest in front of them? Is it a weekly thing? I mean, from your comments, it looks like you're doing it quite often.
When I can afford it, so it really depends.
Okay.
Sometimes it's at least once a week, sometimes twice a week. So roughly, I would say it could be between once a month to maybe 4 times a month.
Okay, great. Now you said a personal reason. Which, if you don't mind talking about, what's your personal reason, your motivation?
Well, Alexei was killed in 2024. I'm sorry, the frame is actually coming apart. So that's Alexei. And I actually use this in the protest.
Do you hold his picture up?
Yeah, with the last signed flag he gave me. So
that's amazing.
I know that if I use symbols, I don't have to shout. I can just use a photo and a flag, especially a signed one, and people will do the maths in their head. I don't have to shout. I don't have to speak, which is why the police tolerate me standing where I do.
Do the police ever hassle you? Are they sympathetic or are they accommodating?
Most of them are. but some can be a bit unfriendly. So, but mostly they're fine, especially when I explain my reasons. And
Right.
I make a point of the fact that I actually feel safer on that side of the road because I'm in front of 2 cameras, even though I'm under scrutiny, right? I've got the embassy behind me, I've got security, I've got the police around the corner. And that reminds me. But this woman's, oh, you're on your own. I was like, no, I'm not on my own. I've got the Russian embassy staff just behind me. I've got security over there. I'm not alone. Don't worry about me. I'm not lonely. I've got a lot of friends. Yeah. And oh God. So,
and you're very active in fundraising. What is your cause? Some people do humanitarian aid. Some people do buying drones. What's your focus for fundraising?
Mostly, I assist units. So
okay.
Ukrainian units, Siberian Battalion. You can see the flag over there.
Are you feeling the level of support for Ukraine decreasing? Are you feeling challenges in raising the money that's needed?
Yeah, it's definitely slower than before. I think some of it is down to war fatigue and the fact that people couldn't afford what they could, let's say 2-3 years ago.
The global economy, thanks to President Trump, is terrible and getting worse. What are some of the things you feel, you have a passion for this as well. What do you feel are some of the things we can do to raise the visibility of Ukraine, to get it more top of the mind? So, it's buried in the news right now.
I think we should be actually doing more protests and actually talking about it more, especially in our everyday life. Even if you're on a train and someone happens to sit next to you and then you start naturally maybe having a conversation, that could be your cue to actually talk about Ukraine. And also ask local organizations to help with fundraising for Ukraine, and maybe encourage people to actually gift things that they don't need anymore. Because those are things that you could actually do. But even basic things, some people have lost, all their clothes, basic things that we take for granted. Especially during the winter, some people had lost their homes, they didn't have any winter clothes, they had nothing. So you could, if you don't have to spend thousands, you could actually give away things that you don't need anymore. Or you could even if you really wanted to buy things. Or even coloring books for kids. There's loads of things. And you could just give it to a Ukrainian community like the one in London that does a lot of fundraising. And then they probably will make sure that it gets to where it needs to go. And I don't know, you could maybe start collections for units that are asking for help.
And there's a lot. And the need is great. How do you choose who you're going to support? How do you vet them? I mean, because we've all seen. I mean, I know I've been contacted by probably hundreds of them. There was a lot of scammers out there. Folks like you have been doing it for 4+ years. Clearly, your heart's in the right place. But how do you, when you want to support somebody, how do you vet them? How do you make sure that this is going to go to where it's most needed? It's not going to disappear in transit.
I mostly do it through. Sorry, I'm sweating still. I do it. My volunteer center that I assist, they do the vetting because I don't know really how I would go about it, and two, I don't even know Ukrainian, so looking at Ukrainian documents is not going to do me any good because I won't understand most of it. So I allow the volunteer center to do the vetting. They give me the units.
Great.
And as for Siberian Battalion, I think it was called Civic Council, when they stopped working with Siberian Battalion, it was a little bit of a drama, and then they ended up contacting me because I actually knew someone that actually was a petty officer, and he contacted upper ups.
Okay.
And that's when it became more direct with me I don't know if working is the right word, but basically where I started doing fundraising with them, and how I ended up like getting signed flags, patches, things like this. And unfortunately, the petty officer that actually made this happen was killed in action. I think last year. I can't remember, but it was unfortunately not long after he did this. He was killed in action, so pretty sad.
There's a lot of, unfortunately, there's a lot of sad stories, and you talk about kids and clothes, and it's not, it's now summer in Ukraine or spring in Ukraine, but you just look at the photos and the videos from the last few days of the Russians attacks. They hit Odessa last night, hitting Kiev, and they're hitting people's apartments. This is where people live. They're just gone.
I mean, they've always done it, but what really disgusts me right now is when they're playing victim. Excuse me, what have you been doing for the last how many years? I just, excuse me? What planet are you living on?
Yeah, no, a lot of hypocrisy, and any authoritarian government, whether it's Putin or Trump, is whatever they say, believe the opposite. So when they're saying they're the victim, they're the aggressor. That's how we can translate that.
I mean, it's always been that way, to be honest.
Yeah, but now people are dying because of it, and we need to support. So if someone wants to support, whether it's helping you go to the embassy and do your protest or helping with your fundraisers, how can they find you on social media? Where are you at?
Twitter, Instagram. Sorry, okay. I don't even know my.
No, that's okay. And if you send those to me, I'll put those in the show notes, okay, so everyone can see how to contact you. Any last thoughts before we let you go on how what is missing? What do you wish you could support in Ukraine that you don't have the money to do now, but if you did, you could support?
I mean, vehicles, to be honest, because they don't last long. Yes. And this is a constant thing that a lot of my guys that I've been assisting over the years, who keep coming back to me, vehicles.
Okay.
I really wish I had fuck you money, because then I could just buy them.
Yeah, no, and unfortunately, none of us have fuck you money, but we, together, collectively, we can, and that's, on, many of the NAFO fundraisers is, Toonie Tuesday, $2 on Tuesday, $5 on Friday, $2 adds up, $5 adds up. When it's 1,000 people donating, it adds up. So no amount of support is too little. But we need more.
That is another thing that I think people don't actually realize, that just $2 or $5, whatever, but that does add up. It doesn't if that money doesn't get there, even if it's small.
It has to get there. Because
you might not think it's much, but if everyone did it, then a lot of collections would actually close. Like, it was funny, like one of my posts got over 8K views. Now, that people wrote donated $2 or even fucking $5. I could have not only just finished that collection, I could have done other collections that weren't even ready to even get started, because I'm working on this one. So this is the crazy thing.
How long is it taking you to close? So when you do a fundraising, what's the normal amount, and how long does it normally take you to close out the fundraiser?
I mean, like back in the good days, some of them lasted a week, 2 weeks. What used to only take me 2 weeks is now lasting months. So it's not great, and this is why I've had to start basically using my own resources, a lot of my own resources, just to get this closed in a more reasonable time frame. So, yeah. Well, which is why I still have a freaking broken phone, by the way.
Personal sacrifice for Ukraine.
It was funny when someone didn't like it when I did a fundraiser for a camera, okay? Like, you hear that? It won't focus. It's just going.
Well, I give you credit for creativity, and these times take creativity for Ukraine. I heard earlier this week was your birthday. Happy birthday, by the way.
Thanks.
You had no enthusiasm on that. Thanks. You're supposed to be more. But I liked how you're,
I was fundraising the whole day. I was just like,
no, well, and that's what
okay,
I
I'm just
I
going to use this
respected.
day to encourage people to donate to
Yeah.
Siberian Battalion.
Well, and I appreciated that because it was your birthday. Like, don't get me anything for my birthday. Donate. And so,
Yeah.
more. I give you credit for that. All right. Well, Ames, I really appreciate it. Everyone, please do look on the show notes. It'll have all the ways to contact Ames and support her various efforts. We want to support her both in her direct action in protesting at the Russian embassy in London, but as well as these very important fundraising for drones. As always, if you like the work we're doing, please like, share, and subscribe, and share this video with your friends. And Ames, thank you very much. Belated happy birthday, and we're going to hope to touch back with you in a couple months and see how you're doing. Because again, we need to keep Ukraine top of the mind for everybody.
We didn't actually get to talk about my interactions with the staff, though.
Oh well, I like these stories. Tell us about interacting with the staff. Tell us about our favorite Russian embassy staff.
Oh God, where do I start? So the first one, this was last year, and I think they didn't appreciate it when I did some recon on National Flag Day for Ukraine, right?
Okay.
I wanted to see if there were any other protests, okay? There weren't any. So, and since I was already at the embassy, I decided I was going to flip them off. What I didn't know was, okay, this is the funny part, that the stuff was just around the corner and she saw me do it. So I think she didn't know if that was for her or not. It wasn't. But anyway, my makeup was kind of like this, only it was the national Ukrainian flag, okay?
Okay.
And she was staring at me. So I was smiling at her. I was even walking towards her because I was going to the park. And I think she wasn't sure if I was going to say anything to her. I wasn't planning to. But I just smiled at her, bye. And yeah, so I came back later. And after police checked in on me, they sent somebody out. It was a man. He actually was quite an attractive man too. You can send him again to observe me, by the way, Russian embassy. He walked past me with his phone out, and he kept walking a bit, and then he stopped, and he turned around to point the camera at me, okay? So I took this opportunity to face him, and I posed for the camera, okay? And I was wearing this flag, the Siberian Battalion flag, okay? This was a shit test. I wanted to see if he was from the embassy or not, and his reaction to this flag. So I said, the Russians that fight for Ukraine, and his face just drops, okay? There was nothing in his training to prepare him for this moment, okay? So he just stood there staring at the flag, and I turned to face him again, and I said, he was killed. And then he looked absolutely traumatized, like a child that just got told Santa Claus isn't real, okay? This is what I was working with. And he repeated what I said. And I said, yeah, that is what I said. And then he retreated back to the Russian embassy grounds. I watched him. Sorry, I'm swearing again. And I looked at the security camera and I laughed at them. And I said, that wasn't very slick, was it? And since they took photos of me, I decided to take photos with them. Well, their security camera. I had a great time, by the way. I was like this, okay? Making sure I got the security camera in the shot. And I wanted to make a point. I really couldn't give a damn about their stupid fucking cameras. Take all the photos you want. It's a protest.
Do they ever get confrontational with you?
No.
Do you ever feel unsafe?
No.
So then we need more people out there protesting.
I mean, they can't do anything to you. I mean, the most they are going to do is stare at you, to be honest. Or give you the, excuse me, no English. But yeah, when after I was done taking my selfies with their security camera, I held this up to their camera and I did this.
All right, good. And for those of you
I,
who are on audio only, I was giving the one finger salute, which we endorse.
And then I went towards the entrance where the security hut is. All the guards were looking at me. So I smiled at them and said, bye. I hope to see you soon.
Well, good. We need more of this. More of this, please. Please, more of this.
And oh my God. Like there was actually one funny interaction, right? Me and the guard are on very friendly terms, okay?
Mm-hmm. Now, the guard's Russian.
I don't think so, no. But he lets the people in, okay, that are probably getting passports and stuff. He waved and smiled at me, right? and the Russians that were all coming in, right? He was leading, and then they saw me like waving as well and smiling. They were just like looking at me and looking at him, like, "What the fuck is this? Like, what is that? What is going on? Why this doesn't make any sense anymore? Why is she waving at him? Why is he waving at her?" Oh, it was so funny. They really did not know. They really didn't know what to make of it. It was hysterical. And there was another funny time with Russian embassy staff. Funny enough, he was a very attractive man too. I really wouldn't mind Russian embassy if you sent him out again. Okay. Now it was kind of funny, but I was trying to return a scarf. Okay, the police would not take it off me, and they came up with this wonderful idea. Okay, when I'm looking like this, to talk to one of the Russian embassy staff that locks up like this with signed flags and a photo.
Crazy.
And like it's covered in like Ukrainian military stuff. Yeah, I should totally talk to one of the Russian embassy staff. That is such a great idea. Genius. I actually did it, by the way.
Oh, you did?
I did. So I was holding a scarf like this. And I said, "Excuse me, I think one of your guests has dropped this." His face, it went from this stoic stare, okay, to smiling, okay. I think this smile was him not knowing like what to do. He probably was thinking, this is a trap. Why is she talking to me? Why is she talking to me? And oh my God, it was so funny. He came up to me and he pressed his lips right and he shook his head. So I think I must have made him really uncomfortable. But I took that as he can't take the scarf and he can't talk to me. And then he just looked at me and I couldn't even look at him at this point, all right? It was pretty awkward, okay? Because he was like really attractive and at that moment, I couldn't even look at him. Because I was thinking, oh my fucking God, no, this is not happening. Why am I attracted to him? What the fuck is going on? Like, this is embarrassing. Like, and I have to ask the embassy, like, what are you running there? A modeling agency? Like, so I don't think it's an embassy. Although, like, there's one of their staff that is literally, he reminds me of Scrooge. He always looks miserable.
That's not the one you think is attractive. You don't have like a Scrooge fetish. Okay, good. So I want to make sure you don't have a Scrooge fetish.
The Scrooge one, the one that reminds me of Scrooge is the one that said, "Excuse me, no English." Okay, but the other guy, yeah, there's at least two. But I do find it funny though. Like how they stare at you.
What they stare at you because they don't know how to respond. I mean, they're in a, you're putting them in a difficult situation. Continue to do it. It's good. Make them uncomfortable. Make them uncomfortable.
Yeah, there was a recent one. So I was provoked that day as well by probably a Russian, and later this embassy guy came out. Okay, he picked up the flowers. And it just reminded me that I've never been able to say goodbye to the people that I've lost in this war. Mm. And he noticed I was looking at the flowers and him. Mm-hmm. And he stood up facing me, looked me right in the eyes. And I probably was giving him evils, to be honest. Because I just felt this rage inside of me, like coming back up. Mm-hmm. That's mostly just sat. And we stared at each other for about 15 seconds. Sorry, I'm sweating again, but this heat is just too much. And yeah, we stood there staring at each other. I think he wasn't sure if I was going to say something to him or to block his way. And the funniest part, right? I stood right by the door. He had to go in. So he had, not only did he have to walk towards me, he had to kind of pass me as well. And he actually did turn around to see if I was still looking at him. I was.
Good.
I was just like, yes, bastard. I'm still looking. Still looking. Fuck you.
Well,
and your flowers.
But I appreciate, I mean, obviously I appreciate, the direct action, the protesting, the fundraising, but I think it's admirable that you keep a good attitude. You still laugh about this. I mean, this is such a serious topic, the hell that Ukraine has gone through. And, President Zelensky, still cracks his jokes, keeps it in perspective, and we need to as well, because it can get very discouraging. What can one person do to help Ukraine who's not in Ukraine? Like we said earlier, every little bit helps, but we it's good just to laugh and support each other. And so that's why
or just make the Russian embassy staff uncomfortable. Win-win. Makes me feel bad.
That's right. Win-win. I like that.
But some people actually ask me why do I protest, and to be honest, that's the only comfort I'm ever going to get. I never got to say goodbye to Alexei properly. I could go to his funeral, and right now, because of what Russia's doing, it's not even safe for me to go there.
Yeah. No, it's good.
That actually infuriates me. So if it makes the Russian embassy stuff uncomfortable, tough shit. Good. I for one vote. I like that attitude. I like that approach. Well, Ames, you've been very generous with your time. I know with time zones, it's getting there into the evening, but I really appreciate it. Again, for everyone, please do check the show notes so you can see how you can support Ames. Do follow her on social media, share her post, help her with the fundraising. And Ames, you're fighting the good fight. We appreciate that. Keep it up. Thanks.
Hey, thank you. You have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.